Hi you guys, it's Stephanie with Coffee Paper Scissors. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome to my channel. I've gotten several new subscribers in the last few days and I really appreciate that you're here. And I don't know exactly what I'm going to be doing with this little pile right here, but we're going to try. I finished up the quilt journal yesterday. I don't want to start a new journal. I just want to maybe do some other things right now. Build up my supplies or something, and I'll still be working on my December daily. I haven't done a video on that for a little while as well. I cleaned my craft room up yesterday, but I didn't wipe my desk down, so there's like little bits and pieces everywhere. All right, so I have some book page, and I've been sitting here folding it, trying to come up with something clever to do with it, and so far nothing clever. But I thought, well, we'll make something. And so I'm going to start out with gluing the pages together to give it some stability. And I just tore these out. I didn't cut the edges to make them real straight or anything, because I don't care about that. I like the torn edge, and it would look nice to sew around, but I'm not real worried about that either. We'll just ink it, and I think that'll be fine too. So again, that is just to give it some strength. My glue dries pretty quickly, so I think it's probably ready. And so what I'm thinking we're gonna do is like a trifold little, I don't even know what you call it. I mean, I don't know what I want to call it. Just a little like mini journal or something. It's obviously not a journal. It's just a little pad of paper. So I don't know what to call it, honestly. But I think that's good. I have so many folds, but I don't care, because I think that just, if any of it shows, it'll just add to the character, and I'm okay with that. So I have also with me a ton of, well, back here, I have this full of scraps, and I am only going to use scraps, nothing new, to cover this and, make little things. I love this paper. Oh darn, what a terrible scrap to have to use. Isn't it pretty? So that's what I'm thinking we'll do first. And what I would like to do, I think, is I'm going to be covering up all of the book page. I said the other day when I was making some flowers with this book page that I attempted to read the book, and it wasn't, I mean, in my opinion, I did not enjoy the book at all, so I didn't read it. But the little bit that I did read, there's some, not real pleasant stuff in there. And so I really don't want the wording to show anyway, because I don't want to have to read the page before I decide whether or not it can be in a journal. So we'll just cover it up. All right, let's go ahead and ink around it all. I went out and got some groceries this morning. I'm really not the best grocery shopper. I've probably said this before. I just don't like grocery shopping. I don't like coming home and putting it away either. But I think the biggest reason that I don't like grocery shopping is that I really don't like preparing meals anymore, and I don't like to eat. Isn't that silly? I mean, it's like a silly thing to say. I like eating snacks, and I know that's not good for me. but I could totally live on snacks and be happy with it. But I know that I need to have some other actual real food. So I have to go out and get some groceries every now and then. And then, you know, there's picky members in my family. And I have not told you guys this before because, I don't know. I've come across people get irritated, you know, but I don't eat gluten because I don't process it. I don't have celiac disease, but I was really just not feeling well for years. I mean, years. And I did not know why. And just digestive issues constantly. And then every time I ate, I felt awful. And I finally was allergy tested, and it came back with a gluten sensitivity. So I was like, well, that's nice because, you know, how convenient is that? Let's not have any more bread. I'm not a pasta person, so that doesn't bother me at all. But no more bread. I love sweets. I love cake, cookies. I love all those kinds of things. And I love to bake. And it just kind of like took the wind out of my sails a little bit. And I would attempt to make things, you know, gluten-free, and my family would be like, well, that's not good. And this has been so long now that it was quite a while before it became fairly commonplace. And so I can buy a lot of things at the grocery store now that I had no hopes of finding even just 5 years ago. There are a lot of things now. So that's good. But I've gotten so used to just, you know, not eating things that I've gotten to where I just don't even know that I like to eat anymore. I don't know. Which is sad. That's a sad thing. But now if somebody else was cooking for me and figuring out the whole gluten situation of it all, then I don't know, maybe it would be different, but kind of tired of the struggle. So we went and found a few things, but you know, what's for dinner tonight? I don't know. And then my kids are older, and I don't care if they don't eat dinner. You know, when they were younger, they doggone better eat what I'm making them. But now that they're older, if they don't want to eat, I don't care. They just have to figure out what they are going to eat. So, I don't know. It's just, and I know this is a situation for so many of us, because other people that I watch will talk about the very same thing. So, but I tell you, the gluten situation is not a choice that I would have made for myself. And that's another thing, is that a lot of times the foods that are gluten-free, they think, it seems to me, they think that I'm making the choice based on like not an allergy situation. And, you know, like, no, if I had the option, I would eat the doggone gluten, you know, give me a piece of bread. But, you know, that's, I don't know what I was saying, but it's, ugh, you know. And so, well, yeah, so a lot of the things that I find are, you know, not something I really want to eat. I don't know if I'm going to have enough to fit all of these pages. So maybe what I'll do is a different page in the background, or maybe I'll cover the inside with this, because I have plenty of it. That's what I'll do. Yeah, so anyway, the whole gluten-free situation, totally not a choice that I would make for myself otherwise, and a pain in the rear. Occasionally I will eat it anyway, and I regret it. But anyway, there's that. Let's see. My son, my poor son, he always has kind of an upset stomach and digestive problems, and I keep telling him it's probably the gluten, Colton, and he's like, no, Mom, I'm fine. He just will not accept it. I actually began having a problem when I was pregnant with him. That's when I became, well, I didn't know what it was, but that's when it started. And I was miserable. And I was in trouble all the time for not gaining enough weight while I was pregnant. But I couldn't eat. It hurt so bad. And I mean, I was just miserable every time I ate anything. And so I made sure I ate like really healthy foods and things like that so that he was at least getting good nourishment. But I think I only gained 20 pounds. And to me, that was, I mean, he only weighed, what, 7 pounds or something like that. So I'm like, come on, there's extra stuff there. There's plenty extra for him. But yeah, they were on me all the time. They're like, eat something. You need to eat like another 250 calories a day at least, and make sure that's protein. Well, had I known it was gluten, it wouldn't have been a problem, but I just didn't know. And I didn't know for quite a few years after that, actually. But as he grew in there, the space that he took up, and then the space that would, because gluten would cause incredible bloating that would just stay inside. And so I felt like I had a giant rubber ball inside of my stomach along with a baby, you know, inside all of the area in there. Fun things to talk about. I know it's annoying for, you know, people in my life because they'll say, well, let's do this or that. And I'll be like, well, okay, but, you know, I can't have any, but I'll, you know, we can go. I mean, for years with the food at restaurants and things like that, I would just sit there and like have a glass of tea or something like that, and they would eat, or I'd have some French fries or, you know, a salad. I cannot tell you how many salads at restaurants I eat. And so everybody's ordering something delicious. I'm like, yeah, I'll have some of that green stuff, please, because I want it so badly. But anyway, I'm glad I found out, though, because it was truly miserable living with it. And I mean, it totally made a difference. I mean, it's incredible the difference that it made. I used to have to lay down at night, every night, to relieve the pressure from it. It was awful. It was awful. I usually felt better by morning, but anyway. So cooking is just not kind of that fun. I used to be like more adventurous and things like that. Another thing that's frustrating to me is the gluten-free cookbooks. I want a cookbook that isn't trying to replace a gluten-filled recipe. I'm not looking for a cake recipe. I'm just looking for ideas of things to eat that never contained gluten in the first place. Does that make sense? You know, like, I love salads, but give me some more options. And so they'll try and make it I don't even know how to explain it. Or I don't want a gluten-free cookbook that's full of pasta recipes, gluten-free pasta. You know, it's like, no, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm just looking for more ideas of things to eat. So So let's see, something more fun to talk about. I did run into the thrift store to see if I could find any crafty goodness, and I couldn't. So no luck there. There were a couple of circle punches, but I have those, so that was fine. Okay, so oopsie. I didn't mean to put that down yet. That's okay. I'll just cover it again. Okay, let's see. So I want to put in some paper for just like some pages. So I just found scraps. And this one has been folded in odd ways, so I'll cut those odd folds off. This is probably going to be too wide, but I'll cut it down to whatever it needs to be. Same with this one. These are slightly different colors. And then this one doesn't have, it's not white on the, I mean, it's white on the other side. So what I'm going to do is ink around the edges, and then I'll kind of ink the inside a little bit, but I'm going to get the, you know, the majority of the ink off this way so that I don't get really big splotches on the center. Just kind of run it across there a little bit. Tone the white down a little. Okay, let's see what we have. That's too long. And that is, I'm going to cut it down just a little bit. I don't, it's probably not too wide, but it might almost be too wide. So I'm just going to take a little bit down. Okay, I don't like how far that is sticking out. I thought I cut that down. Maybe it's an additional one that I didn't cut down. Oh, it's sideways, that's why. That's why. Okay, I'm going to cut it down a little bit more so it's all within this. And we'll line them up. They don't have to be perfect, but kind of centered. So we'll put that in here like this. Yeah. I use a little phone book for making pokies, making holes when I'm sewing anything in. And so since this is fairly small, we'll just do it just like this. So I'm just going to put 3 holes in. And I'm going to go ahead and do it fairly, you know, I'm going to make sure I get, you know, 3 holes in this one skinnier piece of paper. I'm not too concerned about the papers falling out. It's a tiny little booklet. Maybe that's what we'll call it, a booklet. And I have a bunch of, you know, embroidery flosses that I found at thrift stores. And I like to buy them, you know, they didn't have numbers on them, so I couldn't say, oh, this is this. So I use them in my journals and things like that, and I don't feel guilty about using my Ada or my cross stitch, you know, flosses that way. Not that I do a lot of cross stitching anymore. I've mentioned before it's too hard to see it these days. So, all right, I'm gonna cut. Well, maybe I have used. Let's see what I have here. Also, my daughter uses these to make little bracelets. So one of them is cut into some of this, the threads are removed. So let's see, we'll just take this one. Let's see, I have a large-eyed needle. No problem there. So we'll just go in the center, hold it down with my finger. You know what though? I want to put the bow on the outside, so we're gonna go the other direction. I never covered the back. You guys probably knew that. I was too busy talking about gluten. Trying to get that hole there. And then you just want to make sure you go on the other side so that you have the ends, one on each side of this. If you've never sewn anything in before, which I'm sure most of you probably have. And then we'll just tie it in a little bow. And you can do it either way. You can have your bow on the inside or on the outside. I just thought it'd be cute to have it on the outside. We'll do a knot and then a bow. Yeah, so I was at one of the thrift stores locally one day and I found a big bag full of this stuff. I was very excited. Away when we're done. Actually, I'm just going to stick it on top and get it out of my way. And then let's go ahead and cover the back since I forgot to do that. I'm glad I didn't start cutting pieces to do the inside because I really would have run out. That would have been not cool. So when I finished my journal yesterday, the quilt journal, and I did a video and everything, I cleaned my craft room up. And it was funny because, you know, in the evenings when I'll come in here for one thing or another, and I always know, turn on the light because you are going to step on something important. You're going to knock something over, you're going to destroy something, so turn the light on. And so I would turn the light on and I was like, oh, right, I have a floor. I have stuff on the floor again now, but it's not too bad. You know, but the things put away really only last for a day. And then it's, you know, back to creating. I would love to say that I'm gonna sit here and use up all my scraps and make a bunch of different things. What do you think? I always think, oh, I have an idea. I'll make this such and such kind of a journal. And I know that doing that kind of a journal, I'll use up scraps doing that. And I don't. I never do. I always make more. They grow. They are, I have to say, they are contained inside of that one 12 by 12 container right now. But that container used to be a lot less full. So I don't know. Okay, what I had intended to do is to create a little closure. Let me think about this for a second. See if I can still cover it the way I was going to. Oh, I don't know. I do need a little bit more. Let's see. It will be this one. I found these little stickers at the Dollar Tree. You know, there used to be a Dollar Tree and a dollar store, and I will forever forget which one still exists. Forever. I believe it's the Dollar Tree. But I found these there recently. They're cute, I think. Okay, now this isn't going to be easy. You know what, though? I'm going to do something. I want this to be really sturdy. So before I go and cut around it, I'm going to double it up. And then that means we're going to have to let it dry for a minute. While we're doing that, we can make little pockets on the inside. And I think we'll use, let's see, I was hoping to use some of these. I like that, but trying to find something that I think will actually fit in a pocket from here. If I'm very, very careful, these might fit in a pocket. But they're so similar in color. Maybe I'll just do one pocket. Maybe we'll just do one pocket. If I use up the whole space, okay, that's what I'll do. But then to make it a little bit more sturdy, I'm just gonna fold this in half. Is that gonna work? No, because it's gonna seem like we're gonna try. I'm trying to use up scraps. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna try. My fold isn't perfect. I don't know why I'm doing both sides. It's going to be a pocket. and I'm folding it in half to double up the paper. So otherwise I would leave it as where you can open it and journal inside of it, but it's kind of thin paper, so. Okay, let's let that sit for a second, and I'll try and find this, and we'll see if we can cut it out. And I'm going to try and leave a little edge on it, but my cutting's not great, so we'll see. It just gets closer and closer. Okay, I'm going to thin it out right over here just a little bit. Then we'll ink around. And then this is one of those little punches. So what I'm thinking to do is have this so that it can, you know, do that. So we're gonna put, let's see, let's think for a second. Wrong one. It'll reach that far. Yep, it will. So I'm gonna put a mark there. And put my hole where I put my mark. And the reason why I'm doing a hole punch is so that when you put the brad in, it'll spin easily. I really wanted to use one of these, you know, darker looking ones, and so it has the really, really long legs on it, though, so. That's why I didn't want to put this paper on. I wanted to cover it up. Okay, so then when it closes, it'll stay closed, you know, like with that. That's cute. So now I have to figure out what to cover this with. I can cover it with a butterfly, very cute little butterfly sticker. Oh, well, I love banners. We'll do banners. It's not going to be long enough. Are these ones longer? No. Let's see here. That's okay. We'll just do these. We'll do banners with these. We will use the paper I brought over. We'll do these two. I think that's good. Okay, we'll ink around. It would have looked nice to ink around all of these pages too, but I didn't want to make you guys sit through watching that. This is taking long enough as it is, so. Look, I have a dry wipe. I don't always remember. Okay, one. Do I have a small piece? Of course I do. We'll just do this one too. So we'll go about there. This is the part that takes the longest when you're making a journal. Making the things to go in pockets and things like that. It takes forever. And I mean, obviously, because I've been doing this for, I don't know, at least half an hour, I'm sure. And, you know, it would be just for one pocket. So that's crazy. Isn't that cute? Okay, so we have our little pocket for over here. I'm going to grab a punch real quick. Circle punch. And the first drawer I opened, I found it. How lucky was that? Make sure I'm doing the right side. Tiny little thumb hole. Okay, now let's see if we think one of these will fit. I think it will. Okay, I'm just going to do it over here. I didn't ink it first, but that's okay. Let's see. Nope, too tight. I hope that's not wiggling you guys too much, just opening up my drawer. Okay, yep, that'll do it. It's not the perfect cutting job, but I think it's good. It works. And then we'll just kind of ink that a little bit. couple of little pieces of string over here. So and I'm thinking I'm just going to do a knot in it. But I want the knot on the front. I think that's pretty good. There's a couple other stickers up there that I could, you know, add here and there if I wanted to. But there we go. So it has several little pages in it for journaling, little pocket, and then if you fold it the right way, this will hold it closed. It's very pretty. Hope you guys like it. And so I have something that I can use some scraps on. All right. Thanks you guys for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye.